This is an explanation for question 5 on the non-calculator level 2 functional skills maths reformed paper. Okay, so as ever, we need to read through the question. As ever, I do recommend reading it through 3 times. And in this occasion, I do recommend reading through and then giving it a go yourself. Obviously, I will continue on with the explanation, but it will be good to see where you are, what you know, perhaps what you need to revise. Okay, so let's have a read through it. Vera is a shop manager. She has this information about the income in her shop for 8 weeks this year. Okay, I'm going to underline that. Okay, so we've got a table underneath it with 8 weeks, income in thousands of pounds, and again I will mention that a little bit later, and we've got the amount of income that corresponds to that week. Carrying on with the reading of the question, the median income for the same 8 weeks last year was £49,300. Vera knows that the median income for these 8 weeks has decreased this year compared to last year. Work out the percentage decrease of the median income. Give your answers to 2 decimal places. Okay, so let's break this down and obviously read it again. Read it again to yourself 3 times before you decide what you're going to do first. This is quite a scaffold question. There are distinct steps to it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is really just to go back a little bit and highlight what mathematical skills and correspond it to the subject content for a level 2 reformed maths paper. So what we've got here, and we've got a little spelling mistake, which I will correct right now. What we've got here is the subject content that I think is apparent for this question. So calculate percentage change, any size increase and decrease, and original value after percentage change. Calculate the median and mode of a set of quantities. Use the mean, median, mode and range to compare 2 sets of data. So it's interesting to know that. If you're not too sure about the question and you think, oh, I really do need to sort of go back a little bit and revise that, it's obviously good to know what specific areas it is talking about. Okay, also, I'm going to sort of clarify the income in thousands of pounds and the figures that are attached. So again, this is carrying on the work with equivalence. So what it says, thousands of pounds, and it's giving you 2 figures, in this case 2 figures and a decimal point. So for instance, 53.5 is equivalent to 53,500. And again, I'm going to delete that there because it's a little bit misleading. Okay, so again, so it's just using equivalents that you may well come across both in the workplace or in everyday life and being able to cope with that. So 53.5, if it is thousands of pounds, really means 53.5 times 1,000. And that equals 53,500. It's exactly the same number, but just different ways of looking at it. And sometimes the functional skills questions will throw that in just so you've got competency and mastery of how numbers are expressed in different ways. Going back to the question, they're using both sort of ways to do it. So, for example, 53.5 and then putting the full amount, 49,300. Okay, so that's a little bit of an explanation. Let's decide what we have to do first. So again, going back and reading the question, Vera is a shop manager. She has this information about the income in her shop for 8 weeks this year. Okay, and it's got the table showing that. The median income for the same 8 weeks last year was 49,300. Val knows that the median income for these 8 weeks has decreased this year compared to last year. Okay, so we've got information there to work out the question, but we need to add to that to answer the question. Work out the percentage decrease of the median income, give you an answer to 2 decimal places. So what we do need to know is what the median is this year, because it's asking us to compare last year. So we do need both figures. Okay, so median, a form of averages, alongside mean, mode, and range. Okay, how we work out median is by using the set of numbers that is given to us. First of all, we need to rearrange it in order from lowest number to highest number. Now, be really careful about this, especially in an exam situation. It's so easy, whilst we're ordering numbers, thinking ahead, thinking what we do next, to not include all the numbers or to put them in a slightly different order. Okay, so I've done that, and hopefully I have checked it. So there's the number in order. With median, and especially with odd numbers, we have to do a next step. So the way I work out the middle numbers, I take one from the top, one from the bottom, one from the top, one from the bottom, one from the top, one from the bottom, and we're left with 2 numbers. I think I said odd. Obviously, this happens when it's even. Okay, so we've got the first step of working out median, and these 2 are in the middle. So we need actually to find the midpoint of these 2 numbers. So the method in median actually reverts a little bit to mean, because we need to add those together and divide by how many there are, which is what you do when it's asking for mean. So down the bottom there, I've done that. So there's a 2 in the middle, 42.5 plus 45.1. Adding those together, dividing by 2 produces a median of 43.8. So I've left it in that version. We could also put 43,800. Okay, so that's the first bit of the question. So what I'm going to do there is actually transfer that into the question to show what I think the workings out would look like. So I would arrange the figures in order, and then I would work out the median. Okay, so at this point, I would, if you're not too sure about mean, median, mode and range, you can go back and practice these. Obviously, what you need to know, what you need to be confident of is what method to use with what name. Okay, that can cause some confusion, and then practice the method. So this is one example. I'm going to click on it, and then you can see the link. Okay, so if you want to practice it yourself, let's get the link into shot. Okay, so we've got the link there. Typing that in, it will go straight to the practice. And again, just to show you one question of the practice, to see sort of information in there. Okay, so you've got the question there. Azam took 7 maths tests and got scores of 68, 71, 71, 84, 53, 62 and 67. What was Azam's modal score? So it's starting off with a mode question, but we'll go ahead. There are median questions a bit further on. So mode is the most common. So there are 2 examples of 71 there. So I'm pressing 71. Okay, so again, if you want to practice your averages, that could be a good way of doing it. Okay, obviously there are other exercises. Okay, so what I've got there a bit further on is the next step, and that is to work out we need to work out what the difference is between this year and last year. We need to get a figure to get onto the method to work out the professional decrease. So again, I've done it in two ways. I've done it the full amount. So we decided that, well, we know that last year was 49,300. We've worked out that this year is 43,800. We need to work out the difference. And the way we work out the difference is by subtraction. So again, that works out to 5,500. And again, I've just done it the other way as an equivalent, just to make things as clear as I possibly can. So again, let's put that into the program to show the workings. And then we've got all the information before getting on to the final step of the question. Okay, so it says work out the percentage decrease of the median income, give your answers to 2 decimal places. So that is percentage change. Okay, so again, I've put how we work out percentage change, just as a reminder. So percentage change equals new value, take away original value, divided by original value. So that is probably where a lot of people go wrong. They put the new value again as the divisor. Okay, so new value, take away original value over original value times 100. So if we apply that to the figures that we've got, I've done the first stage. We've taken away the new value, taken away the original value, and that's 5,500, divided by the original value, which was 49,300, and then times by 100. So that works out as 11.156. The question does ask us to put it as 2 decimal places, so it's 11.16. So again, let's scoosh this across and put it as the end of the answer, and hopefully that does answer the question and hopefully gets us 4 marks. Okay, so that is the explanation for this paper. I will carry on. It does ask us to check our answers with median, but I'm not going to address that in this video.